What is up, guys, and welcome to your 12th Python tutorial. Today we'll be having a look at data structures, and more specifically we will be having a look at lists. Now, lists are the most simple data structure inside Python, and how you basically create a list is by, instead of using regular brackets, you end up using square brackets. But today I'm firstly going to be explaining what a list is. A list is basically something like a shopping list. So it's a list of variables, or a list of strings, or a list of numbers and things like that. And basically a list is really great for storing lots of data into one list or one small thing, and that's really useful, and you guys will see that when you start writing more and more programs. So how you basically create a list is you name it like you would name any variable. I'm just going to start off by naming it my underscore list. And how you create a blank list is by just going open square brace, close square brace. Now basically my list is now stored inside memory as blank. So my list has nothing, but it is still stored inside memory. So what we're now going to have to do is, if we go ahead and print my list, and this is obviously pretty self-explanatory, we will get absolutely nothing. As you can see, we just simply get the square braces. But guys, you can actually end up adding something to a list, and how you do this is by you go my underscore list dot append, and what you basically do is you put what you want to put inside these brackets. So you can put a string in there. So I'm just going to name this string item 1. So that's item 1 of my list. Now I hit enter, and now I go print my list. And guys, something else I want to let you know is, when you're working inside the Python shell, you can also just go my underscore list, and it shows it for you too. But I just like to do print my list because of the simple fact that it's better when you're writing your own actual programs. So next thing we want to have a look at is adding a variable to a list. You can add a variable to a list very simply. Firstly, we're just going to create a variable. I'm just going to name my variable number. I'm going to set number to a value of 10. And how you do it now is you just go my underscore list dot append, and you just type in the variable's name, which is of course number. Now, if we call my list, once again guys, I will be just using that because it's quite simple as opposed to having to actually print out my list. So we now get inside my list item number 1 and the value 10. And the reason we get the value 10 is because number is equivalent to 10. So it actually gives the value of number inside there. So what the next thing we want to have a look at is having a look at, with a list, having a look at different elements inside that list and their numbers. So let's just create a new list, and we'll just name it new list. And we're just going to get the numbers 1 through 9. Okay. And now new list is now stored as the numbers 1 through 9 inside a list. So now what we will have a look at is, of course, just once more, I will again show you guys to print out the list. Now what we're going to be having a look at is indexes inside a list. Now you might think that, okay, that's the first element in the list, so that's list index 1. But actually with Python lists, you actually start at 0. So that would be element 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, and so on. So we can actually find out a specific index inside a list by going new underscore list, and then we use our curly brace, and let's just put 2, and we should get the number 3 because that's 0, 1, that's 2. So give a enter there, and what do you know, we do get the number 3. So as you guys can see, it starts at 0, goes to 1, goes to 2, then goes to 3. So you can also, as I've showed you previously, I just want to explain this once more, is that you can definitely also put lists, variables, integers and floats all inside a list, the same list. It does not really matter. But guys, I just want to show you that. And something else you can finally do is, if you go new underscore list and you go the index, I'm going to replace index 0, and I'm going to set it equal to 10. So now when we call new list, we now get 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So guys, that's about it for basic list functions. Now I really hope that lists help you out, because lists are very useful, and I will actually be going on a bit more about lists in maybe the next couple of tutorials. We'll be having a look at some really cool things you can do with lists, such as slicing and a couple more list functions. So lists are actually extremely useful storing your data. And something else you might want to note, if you've ever programmed in a language such as C++, you might realize that lists are more commonly known as something called an array. So you basically just want to think of a list like an array, if that helps you out, if you've done a bit of programming before. So anyway guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will be sure to see each and every one of you guys next time.